What's up guys, GGFOREX here, welcome back to my channel, and we finally have some triggers happening for the verification stage. I've been triggered in on EG and CJ is getting close, and what I'm going to do is break down what happened on AU. So there could be a possibility on AU, EU's fallen out the sky, G's fallen out the sky, and US dollar CHF never retraced and just went to the moon. So I'm going to break down those trades and what happened during Ftmo or FOMC, and then we're going to see what happens at New York Open later on. But let's just jump into the chart so I can show exactly what I'm on about. So at the moment we have got CJ on the screen. As you can see, price is approaching. During FOMC, it just dived off, but it never broke a low, which is fine. So basically all I'm seeing here is a normal impulse to the downside, and then we got a nice flag coming back up into an area, and hoping something like that happens. That'd be great. Possibly another re-entry on this as well, because I think it's only, no, it's still 1 to 5, so this trade alone will be fine. Let me just show you EG that I'm in at the moment. So EG has just triggered. I am expecting potentially 50% drawdown on this trade. I expect it to come down to the 8-hour candle, because there is imbalance above it, but I was just playing off the fibs. So yeah, so far so good. Price is slowing down. It's saying everything that I want it to do. I still believe that this is in a downwards trend. So because of that, I'm thinking it's a buy to a better sell later on down the line, until proven otherwise. Because at the moment, I'm only targeting just below the liquidity to the top side in a premium area. But obviously if price breaks through this area, then potentially we could be looking at a confirmed reversal of this trend on the daily time frame, which would be fantastic. So we can just ride this up then with the order flow, which would be amazing. So far EG is going well. So let me just show you AU, what I was looking at yesterday, but then pulled the trigger or bailed out because of FOMC. So as you can see, the equal lows that I was targeting have been taken. So I knew that was going to happen. I was just hoping it was going to get into my kill zone first before doing so, but it is what it is. So that prediction was correct. Let's go to the DXY, and as you can see, the targets I had above that I knew was going to be taken has been taken. It's just annoying because sometimes when this happens, right, what I've noticed is you see things happen, you know it's going to happen, but will price retrace to the area that you're willing to buy or sell from first? I think that is one of the key annoying things of trading. You can see it happening, you can predict it happening, but will price go to an area where you're willing to buy and sell from for you to take advantage of that move? That's where your psychology has to come into it as well, and just accept that you don't know what's going to happen next. You just have to be strict on yourself, disciplined, and stick to your plan, and not buy or sell randomly chasing the market. Only buy or sell in areas that you're willing to, right? And if price doesn't go there and shoots to the moon, that's fine. You have another day, another opportunity, another trade. But yeah, so predictions on the DXY were fine. I knew it was going up, and it has with some style. EU, again, I drew this line out on the last video. If you haven't seen the last video, by the way, the link will be up there somewhere. Click that and you can see exactly what I'm on about. But yeah, so it's obviously going to take this low. So the annoying thing at the moment is the DXY is so bullish, EU's really bearish. We'll go to GU now. GU is really bearish, obviously equal lows that I said was going to be taken, has now been taken, but price never retraced to the area where I was willing to sell from, which was this red area at the moment that I marked out. Price retraced a little bit, not that far, and just sold off because the DXY was so bullish, sorry. But yeah, so these things happen. You may think that when you do your weekly analysis, oh, I got loads of setups, but there's no guarantees that price will ever get to those areas. So there's one thing you need to bear in mind is it's not as if you're new and looking at this thinking, oh, what am I doing wrong? Price isn't retracing here. That is fine. Price doesn't have to retrace. Like, you don't control the price, okay? You just have to take advantage of what the price gives you, but you have to be selling and buying in areas that you predefined, that you accepted your risk, that the odds are in your favor, and the probability of something happening over another in that area is greater. So that is how you trade. And it's gonna be the most frustrating thing ever, because if you have a look at USD CHF, I knew price was going up, but I wasn't willing to buy up here. I was willing to buy down there, and price never got down there, and that's just the way it is. But I'm glad that my predictions are correct. It liquidated the equal lows and then pushed up. It's what I was expecting to happen. It happened, but I just wasn't able to get into the trade to take advantage of the move, which is perfectly fine. There'll be another day, another week, where I will see the same move and price will retrace and get me in. It's just the way trading is. But yeah, so that's really what I'm looking at the moment. Nothing much else. GJ is retracing back. Obviously, this went, my first trade on this, I'll put another link above in this video where you can see the trades of where I passed, which was this one and this one. And it went down to 1 to 16.5 on one of the trades, and I think the other one was like a 1 to 5.5, 1 to 6.5 or something. So it's an amazing trade. Obviously, if it was a personal account, it'd be great. I'd still be holding this if it was a personal account and I didn't need to get the 10% to pass stage 1. So potentially I've got alarms set for GJ when it comes to this area. I want to see some sort of reversal pattern happen. But so far GJ is looking good. It's slowing down in a key area, which is good for me. So overall, EG's looking good. Is now pulling away, and CAD-J is selling off, but I am expecting a reversal at New York Open, which is in roughly 2 hours-ish, 2-3 hours-ish. So I'll update you then on the reversal during New York, because I am expecting EG to push lower and CAD-J to push higher. But again, we don't know. We just have to sit on our hands and wait to see what happens next. Right guys, so it is the next day. I am still in EG. It hasn't really moved. I have taken a 0.5% loss on this trade because potentially at London Open, I did see a nice move happening. However, it didn't actually take me out, but the spreads did, and I'll break it down and show you what I mean. But if I go to the 1 hour time frame, you can see how it's sort of like, it's doing the right things. Like, I want it to do this. As you can see, prices coming down, RSI is going up. It's making nice bullish engulfing candles, but it hasn't quite broken out of that 4 hour area yet. It's still in there. So depending how today ends, it's only 5 to 1 in the afternoon at the moment. So depending how today ends will determine how Monday's going to start, because usually on Monday it liquidates Friday's lows or highs. So I'm hoping price pushes away. So on Monday, when it liquidates the Friday low to get a better price, it might not, but 5 times out of 10 I usually find that when price pushes away on Monday it retraces and then pushes away again, like maybe Tuesday to Thursday during the week. So potentially that could happen. I'll have to update you guys later on, but let me just show you the trade of what went wrong this afternoon. So this is why I journal everything, guys. So 0.5% risks. I knew I was already in the trade. I didn't need to risk anymore. But wrong one. If I just get the before trade. So you can see before, it's in my point of interest. It's going down. The RSI is going up with a nice impulse move up, impulsive move to the top side during London Open. Liquidated Asian lows. So I had everything I wanted in a logical point of interest. It just never came down. It just never worked out, because when I show you the after result, you can see price hasn't actually taken me out in stop loss, but when it came that close, the spreads did. So that's something you have to bear in mind. It is what it is. I'm not mad. I'm still in this trade, and it's still a good possible 1 to 5 to happen, or potential re-entry on this trade anyway. But we just have to sit tight and wait to see what happens next. There is good news on GJ. It is approaching our area, so I have this marked out because it is potentially in a discounted area. I would like it to go higher, but it's already showing signs of weakness. If I show you this, see prices going up. See RSI is selling off quite heavily, so we're already getting good signs. So if it breaks a swing low and makes more targets, then potentially that could be a nice entry in on this trade. it is in a discounted, a premium area at the moment, so it's doing all the right things. Again, I just need to wait for extra confirmations. CAD yen, similar situation. If it breaks this swing low, then we could potentially be seeing a nice sell opportunity on this on the 8-hour time frame. But if you have a look again, you got RSI coming down, and then you've got price going higher. So there is some sort of divergence in play in a key area. I just need, again, wait for those extra confirmations, breaking the swings, and seeing what's left behind afterwards. DXY is just going to the moon. It's showing no signs of it coming back anytime soon. So AU is just sinking. There's no real areas to retrace on this. USD Chef is going up. GU's going down, and obviously EU's going down. So there's no real areas of retracement. Price isn't giving us another entry point, and it probably won't do now till probably mid to late next week. So the only real option I have is just holding EG if it works out or not. That is another thing to worry about. Well, not worry about, but just losses do happen. So you just need to wait and see what happens now in the next half an hour when New York actually fully opens, and then we can see what price action wants to do. I can see price potentially wanting to liquidate these lows and then going higher. So I can see this sort of happening, liquidating out these equal lows, then pushing higher, and then maybe doing a retracement. If that happens, that's great. Then I can get in on another trade, and we can see how we can play it from there. But yeah, at the moment, it's not a guarantee. We're not popping bottles of champagne yet. We just got to sit on our hands and wait to see what happens next. It's making all the right signs, but now we just need to let it play out. Okay guys, so it is Monday the 31st. So last time I saw you guys was obviously Friday and or Thursday, I can't really remember. But I was going over the weekend, and obviously Monday has happened, and as you can see on EG, one of the trades has failed. So kind of unfortunate really, because it's kind of hasn't really taken me out fully. It was just by the spread, so it kind of came down to where my stop loss was, and then the spread I think is 0.6 on this pair, and obviously it just came past that by a smidge, which is a shame, but it still could be more possible opportunities for EG. It has made liquidity to the downside quite clearly, so there is bullish divergence happening. So potentially what we could be seeing is price coming down and then coming up, and then we could see maybe a test. But I'm not disappointed at all with my decision to get in this trade, because if you have a look on the 4-hour time frame, I would take in this trade 1,000 times before. So created equal lows, liquidated them, pushed up, made more targets, came back for a retest. I would do that trade again and again and again. So if you know that you entered a trade and you're perfectly happy to take that trade again, then you know you made the right decision, you know you stuck to your plan. Just for whatever circumstance, it didn't work out. Remember, it only takes one person out there in the world to negate the outcome of your trade. And this is just a perfect example of that. It's not as if it was a bad trade, it just didn't work out, and that's completely fine. And it's, I think, a very hard thing for new traders to get used to, is just accepting that you could have the most beautiful trade ever and it can still lose, and you should be okay with that fact. But however, Monday, new week, we do have new opportunities. So if I go to the DXY, you can see the DXY is selling off quite nicely now. If I go to 8-hour time frame, it has taken these highs, so there could be some short time sells on the DXY, which means we could have some short time buys on the dollar pairs. So there is a potential short time buy on USD CHF, oh sorry, short time sell, sorry, so that will line up with DXY, and then we got a short time buy on AUD USD. Reason why I'm saying short term is because obviously the DXY is heavily bullish, but obviously we have just liquidated all this liquidity up here, and now liquidity to the downside. So potentially we could have a retracement down to certain levels, retracement down to here, this area, or this area. So we could have all of these retracements happening on the DXY before we can see another push to the upside. So if I show you AUD, USD, you can see if I zoom out on the larger time frame, it's taken out all the targets that I was wanting to get in on the sell. Has already happened now. So that move's happened, it's liquidated out the lows, and now it's showing strong bullish divergence. You have a look, this is the daily time frame. You see the daily liquidate these lows, made a lower low. But if you have a look at the RSI, it's making a strong bullish move to the upside, and then we're getting that proof on the 4-hour time frame. So I've already got broken structure on the 1-hour time frame. So all I'm waiting for now is just price to retrace back to a logical area, and then we can see some potential buys. The reason why I'm saying it's short term is because obviously the DXY overall is still bullish. So until it proves me otherwise, AU is still selling off, but now it's at a discounted price. I believe the banks want to start selling it at a premium price. So this will just be a buy to a premium area, and then I'll get out of the trade. So that's why it's short term. This is not a trend reversal. This is just a retracement on the larger time frame, going with the higher time frame order flow. So I hope that makes sense, guys. And that's the same rule that applies for USD CHF. Obviously I'm seeing the DXY selling off in a logical area, and now I'm seeing USD CHF selling off in a logical area. If I go to the daily time frame, you can see we're in this daily candle at the moment. The reason why I'm saying it's short term is because we've had this huge bullish run, obviously, which makes sense. It ties into the DXY. It liquidated the lows, pushed up, retested, exploded to the top side. I tried to get in for some buys on this big impulse upwards, but again, price never retraced. It just went to the top side and never came back. So what price is doing now on the lower time frames, I've shown a 1 hour, is it's distributing off, and we could potentially seeing sells to a discounted area to then put in more buys in the future. So again, I'm only going to be selling this short term because overall the DXY is bullish until proven otherwise. And if you have a look on the 4-hour time frame as well, we can see higher high being made and a very steep lower high being made on the RSI. So there's definite divergence in this in a key area. It makes a lot of sense, but I just need to sit on my hands now and wait to see what price gives us. I'm waiting for it to break this low to confirm to me, yes, this is now selling off. The sellers are now in control. Let's look for some sales back to a logical point of interest. But yeah, so USD CHF, AUD, USD, and potentially gold, right? Also, you guys know I don't really trade gold. I just really focus on the majors, those 4 majors. But if I see a good opportunity on another pair, then I will have a look at it and see if it makes sense, right? So if I go to the weekly time frame on gold, you can see that price has filled the imbalance in this logical area. If I go to daily, it'll probably be easier for you guys to see. So you can see price filled imbalance, mitigated out their orders, and then they started to flag upwards controllably, making targets along the way. And if you have a look, if I zoom out, you'll be able to see all the equal lows that price has made. Obviously now gold sold off in the logical area, came back up, tested it, sold off again, breaking all these lower highs, right? So to me, order flow has been broken. All the liquidity is to the downside. So now I'm waiting for price to come back up to this logical area. If I go to potentially the 8-hour time frame, so somewhere around here is going to be my sell-off point of where I want to get into the trade. And it's a beautiful trade, and it's a potential 1 to 7. So obviously I've lost EG, 2 trades in EG. One was 0.5%, one was 1%. And I need obviously now 6.5% to pass. This is obviously a 1 to 7 on gold alone. So gold has a very good chance of just passing the trade. And again, I'm not going for like unreasonable TPs. As you can see, I've marked out all the areas of liquidity, and this could be a nice sell-off to the downside as well. So overall, very positive of what this week could potentially bring. I just need to sit on my hands and be patient and wait for the price to come to me of where I'm willing to buy and sell from. I'm not going to chase the price Like last week, obviously, price just ran away and I didn't bother getting involved. I just waited for it to give me another opportunity. But yeah, guys, that's what I'm looking at. If you like this video so far, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. If you haven't already, join the GGFOREX group. The links are down below. A lot of people get a lot of value from that, and it's a really good community, especially if you're new, you want to get into trading, but you don't know what to look at. All the answers are down below. So I'll see you in the chat, guys, especially if you want to get hold of me.